Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan Chase saying tonight that people need to accept the new tariffs might raise prices. He was speaking here in Davos and he was talking to CNBC and he said that tariffs serve a purpose.
I look at tariffs, they are an economic tool. That's it. They're an economic weapon, depending on how you use it and why you use it and stuff like that. And, people argue, is it inflationary and non-inflationary? I would put in perspective, if it's a little inflationary, but it's good for national security, so be it. I mean, get over it.
So be it. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala is the Director General of the World Trade Organization and is with me now. Are you going to get over it?
Well, this is what I say. I say, Richard, we should all chill. Can we chill? I think we shouldn't get overexcited about the issue of tariffs. Let's wait and see what actually is done. Right now, there's a lot of speculation on what might be done. It hasn't been done yet, Richard.
I get that.
Yes.
I get that. But you've got the president saying day after day, 10% here, 25% there.
Well, so let's wait. When we look at what has actually been said on the executive order, as a series of studies on different trade agreements, even the External Revenue Service is to be studied to see how it can be set up. So I'm just saying, could we take a deep breath? Let's chill to our members. Let's not overreact. Let's not think of tit for tat. Let's not get too excited.
But as the Europeans have said, you have to be prepared for tit for tat.
No, you have to be prepared to take good steps. First, through the WTO, and the European Union is actually doing that with China on the dispute they have. And what is encouraging right now, and I'm not trying to minimize the issue, I'll come back to the impact of tariffs, but saying we should study the matter is actually what the WTO recommends. If you feel that you're being harmed by other members' actions, before you take any action, do the studies, show the impact of the harm, and then from there you can initiate consultations and talk to that member to see how you resolve the issue.
That's a brilliant strategy where there's a legitimate economic issue. But if you're using it as a political weapon, then we're into a different ballpark here, aren't we?
We will be in a different ballpark, and that is the point why I say chill. Because it may be that this is indeed being used to solve other problems. And I think that is the difficulty for trade, that trade policy and trade tools are actually being used to solve non-trade problems sometimes, and that makes it more difficult. But if it comes to actual trade and economic problems, then let's follow some rational steps. And it looks like the U.S. is moving in the direction of these investigations 1st of April before doing anything.
The other difficulty with the whole policy is that it seems some of these tariffs are going to be used for completely non-economic purposes, to force a country. I mean, I give the example, of course, of Greenland and Denmark, but that's only because it's been used by the president. That will be very difficult when you start to ratchet it. What's the mood in Geneva?
Well, the mood in Geneva or the mood in Davos?
Both at the WTO and here.
I think the mood is of some concern. One has to be honest about that. But again, can I say something? Trade has been facing strong challenges for the past few years. There's been rising protectionism and use of trade policy measures to solve other problems. There's been increasing fragmentation of trade. But against that backdrop, Richard, trade has been pretty resilient. We just did some analysis. We updated our analysis. 80% of world trade, goods trade, is still taking place on WTO most favored nation terms. People don't know that. So that's why I say chill. And also world trade is now $30.4 trillion, which is higher than the pre-pandemic peak. So yes, I'm not trying to be Pollyannish. I am concerned because of the increasing fragmentation. And I'll tell you this.
Yes.
On fragmentation, if we continue in that direction and we fragment into two geopolitical blocks, we've done additional analysis now. If you add trade policy uncertainty to this fragmentation, we will lose 6.4% of real global GDP in the longer term. That's like losing the economies of Japan and Korea combined. So it is not something it's not a direction in which we should move, okay? So I'm not saying it's...
Choose your weapon.
I'll choose blue. It's my favorite color.
Oh, any particular reason?
I don't know. Good things happen to me when I'm in blue most of the time. Anything wrong with that?
You're not in blue tonight. Come over here. The next 4 years in one word. Do be careful and don't fall over. My
word is disruption.
Oh, love it. Now we'll look away in case you misspell it. It's really difficult to get the spelling on these things when you actually...
My writing is awful, but here you go. Disruption.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
That way. Thank you. Disruption. Thank you very much. Good to see you, as always.
Thank you.